Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Bonafide. This is Section 240 and welcome back to the channel. So the NFL draft was a couple of weeks ago, and there's only really one question that we have to ask ourselves after all the dust has settled, all the draft grades have been put out, and this, that, and the third. Did Rand cook? We'll figure it out after the intro. Hey, welcome back to the channel. So, the draft was a couple of weeks ago, and now the dust has settled. All the draft grades from PFF and Pro Football Talk and everybody who has a laptop and access to all 22 has given their draft grades. But the real question, like I said in the intro, is did Rand cook? I mean, this is his first time as a GM for the Tennessee Titans, so this is his first draft. He did some free agency picks that we'll talk about in another video, but this video is focused on the draft. So I'm going to throw up a graphic on the screen of all of our draft picks from 2023. I think at 11, our first round draft pick was Skoronski, the offensive tackle from Northwestern. And then we picked up Will Levis from Kentucky, Tajay Spears from Tulane, Josh Wild from Cincinnati, Duncan from Maryland, and Colton Dowell, I think, from UT Martin. They're on the screen, so you'll be able to see it. These guys are new. I don't know them like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game, and that game is called One Word. So I have one word for each one of these draft picks that we just selected. So we're going to start off with the first round draft pick, Skoronski. Is it Skoronski? Or Skoronski? Skoronski? I mean, I apologize if I butcher his name. So I'm just going Big Sko. My one word for Skoronski is expected. If you did anything and you had your head not in the sand, you kind of heard that this name was coming around and associated with the Titans. Paris Johnson Jr., the tackle from Ohio State, obviously was a big pick, but most draft pundits had Skoronski penciled in for the Tennessee Titans, obviously because our offensive line was dadgum near offensive last year. So my word for him was expected. If you had any inkling, you knew he was going to be the pick. Now, there were some rumors, and I know, but Bonafide, we almost had CJ. There was no chance in the world that we were going to get CJ Stroud. He was going top 2. That was smoke being blown up everybody's. This is a family child. I can't, in that regards. But there might have been a place where we could have gotten CJ Stroud, but it was a far and few in between. It was a long shot, to say the least, that we were going to get Stroud. So the rumors came out that, we were trying to grow up to 3 to possibly get Stroud. And when the chips fell where they were, the Texans got Will Anderson and traded back into 3 and got. Did they go trade back into? No, they got Stroud with number 2, and then they traded back into 3 to get Will Anderson. So after that, all bets were off of us moving up, trading in, things like that. So when our pick came in at 11, we picked Skoronski. He's a good, solid player. He looks like the prototypical lineman. He's from Northwestern. They just breed linemen up there. So I kind of figured it was expected. So here goes the next one. At 33, we took Will Levis. And I got a word for you, and I want you to read it on the screen. But the word that I'm going to use is minus well. Yes, I did spell that correctly. Just say it out loud. You'll get it. Because I feel like he was there. Now, Will Levis, this is a SEC quarterback. He has some pretty decent tape. I'm not going to say it was like all world tape, but he has some pretty decent tape. Most people say that his 2021 tape was better than his 2022 tape because of injuries and just the offense. But irregardless of the fact, it's college ball. So he was projected at one point in time. Remember that smoke I was talking about before? A lot of people were saying the day of the draft that he was possibly going to go number 2 overall. And there was a lot of smoke. But it looked like there was no fire because he absolutely dropped right out of the first round. And on day 2, we picked him up with the 33rd pick. A lot of people were upset about it. Yeah, I get it. A lot of fans, to put it like that, of the Titans happen to be fans of the Volunteers. And he played for Kentucky, so wasn't a lot of hoopla about him, being a Tennessee Titan now. But that, you got to be, as a fan, you got to learn how to separate your college fandom from your NFL fandom. If your favorite player from college joins your NFL team, great. That is awesome. But if he doesn't, so what? This is the NFL. What do I look like being a Volunteer fan and saying I hate Derrick Henry because he went to Alabama? That's stupid. But that's for another time. Will Levis is here. Looks like he has all the tools to be a good quarterback. We don't know. That's why I said might as well take him since we had him. So now we got those 2 picks out of the way. The next pick is one that I was super excited about. And it was only because I was excited about it because I happen to be a subscriber of Stacking the Inbox. Yes, this is a shameless plug of Stacking the Inbox. I keep telling you people every day that you need to pay the $4 for Stacking the Inbox so you can be as educated as I seem. He, being Zach Lyons, did an entire article on Tyjae Spears and why he is going to be a game changer. If you go back and look at his tape, he is dynamic and he is somebody that we need on the team. I don't care about the ACL, MCL, PCL, TCL, all of that. I do not care about any of that. If he is healthy, he is going to be a major impact on this offense. So my word for Spears, I'm so excited, I forgot to give the word, is spark. Spark. That is what he's going to provide to this offense. Hopefully Tim Kelly can get him in there. We can get some, I won't even want to get to it because I really don't know what's going on. But spark is what I got for Tyjae Spears. I think he's going to be a dynamic player. He's going to contribute this year, and it's going to be a great addition to the team. Now, the next couple of picks, nothing to scream home about. We picked up Wow, the tight end from Cincinnati. That's the Luke Fickell connection. So, do your Ohio State, Mike Vrabel, Luke Fickell, smash bang fusion. So, looks like he's a solid ball player. Looks like he's a good blocker. Probably need to put on a little bit of weight, but he got good hands from the tape that I saw. So, look, my one word for Wow was safe. We needed pass catchers. We don't have Hooper anymore. I don't think we need somebody to pair with Chig. So that was a safe pick. If he can develop into a solid blocking tight end, I think it would be good. Now, obviously at that time, I think Mayer from Notre Dame was still on the board, but or he was available or he had just gotten picked up. I don't know, but I think we went pass catcher with the tight end. Maybe Luke Fickell had something to do with that. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, whatever. But I think it was a safe pick. So my word for Wild is safe. Duncan, the tackle out of Maryland. My one word for him is develop. Now, you've probably seen it already. You've seen it TikTok or I forgot who posted it. I don't know who posted it, but he's wearing the same number as another offensive tackle that name we will not bring up on this channel. And he had a little slip and fall this weekend, but I don't think that's any indicator of who he is as a player. Hopefully there were some concerns about his work ethic. So I hope we don't have a problem with that, but it looks like he's a solid guy. Develop is the word that I'm gonna use for him, because if we can develop him, then look like it's an added depth piece or maybe a future starting piece for our offensive line. And the last pick, we got Dow, the wide receiver out of UT Martin. And my word for Dow is potential. He has potential to be a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2. Came from a small school, UT Martin, in Martin, Tennessee, but he stood out in the game that he played against the Volunteers. I think he had like 114 yards. I think he might have had a touchdown. I'm not sure. He has potential. So that's what we need, because our wide receiver room is, to say the least, lacking in that regards. So that's all of our draft picks, and then play one word. So that's going to move us on to the next segment, is what I liked and what I didn't like about the draft. Now, I'm going to start you off right here. What I liked about it is that we went all offense in the draft. I think we were one of the only teams that did not pick a defensive player the entire draft. So every last one of our picks was an offensive player. And if you know anything about our offense last year, it was basura. I think that's, yeah, basura. It was trash, garbage. I mean, we were the only team in the NFL to not score 30 points in a game. The only team in the NFL to not score 30 points. We scored 27 against the Packers. Then you know what happened after that. So anyway, that is what we had there. So I liked that they went all offense for this draft. I think it was a great decision to make because, and I'll piggyback off something that I got from Zach, just looking at his tweets. I don't think this particular draft is for 2023. I think it's for 2024. We'll talk about that in a minute, but keep that nugget in your head. Now, what I didn't like so much about this draft is waiting to the 7th round to pick a wide receiver. Now, I get it. Everybody was harping on this. There were a whole bunch of wide receivers that would have been great additions to this team. And we waited to the 7th round to pick up a wide receiver. Will this come back to haunt us? I don't know, because we don't know what Dow will turn into. We don't know what's going to happen. Is Racey McMath going to be healthy this year? Is Reggie Roberson going to be healthy this year? Is an undrafted free agent going to jump out of the scene? Are we going to sign somebody in free agency? Jarvis Landry. I like Landry. I like him. Solid possession receiver. Okay. But that's the only thing I didn't like about this. It's like I really didn't understand why we waited so long to pick a wide receiver. I think Rand and Mike were going with BPA, best player available at the particular draft. And that's how they did it after the 1st round draft pick of Skoronski, is that they went BPA all the way down on offense according to their board, things like that. And this is the thing about the draft. We won't know how good these players are or what potential they have or how they turn out until after this season is done. So that is the game that we play. That is why we watch the game. So those are what I did like and what I didn't like about the draft. So my final thoughts on this is that I think the draft was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like great. Now, all the draft pundits said that we had A+. I don't think I saw one, analytics or sports blog give us a bad grade on our draft. Most of it was A-, A+, B+, things like that. I think we may have gotten one low grade, but I don't recall where that came from. So according to the pundits, it was a great draft. So going back to that piece that I said about Zach Lyons from Stacking the Inbox, is that this draft may be more about 2024 instead of 2023. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to watch the games just like I do all the time, but I'm not sure if we're going to be a threat. Now that could change, things could change, the season has changed. And, that's why we play that's why they play the game, is that you never know. But I think this draft is more about getting solid players this year that can contribute next year when we have more cap space, when there are a bigger pool of free agents. We'll know what we have in the team. The cap numbers will look a little bit different. So I think this is what's going on here. So I'm not going to say that Rand didn't cook. I'm just going to say he didn't cook a full course meal. Again, I think it was a good draft, not a great draft. But I think at the end of the day, we won't know who these players are until the end of the season. Maybe in the middle of the season, we can see, okay, yes, Skoronski was definitely a good fit. The line has changed. Duncan came along. Dow, Spears is really a spark. Who knows? But I think we are being set up for success. So I know minicamp is going on around right now. Looking like Will Levis has a really good release. He can spin it. But who knows? When training camp comes along and they put on the pads, then we're really going to see what we got going on here. But that's all I got to say about the draft. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, like the video, comment on who you thought was the best pick or what your one word for the draft picks were in the comments. Subscribe, share it to your friends, and thanks for joining us on Section 240. Tighten up.